Hi, everybody. Al Bernstein here with another one of our Boxing Hot Topic show. On this show, I get a chance to talk to you about the things that are on boxing fans' mind these days. One of the people that boxing fans are thinking about a lot is Moses Itauma, who is a 20-year-old heavyweight phenom from Great Britain, who is undefeated as a pro, never lost as an amateur, so he does not know what defeat looks like. He's just coming off a win over Mike Berrigan, impressive knockout win, as all his wins are. And at age 20, people are wondering how close is he to really fighting for a heavyweight championship. Now, he's ranked in several of the organizations already, even though he hasn't really fought a contender. So the next step for him is one that people are thinking about and wondering about. There are names that come to mind in terms of future fights for him. Effie Ajagba is a good idea, big, tall heavyweight who has fought top competition. Johnny Fisher, another British fighter who could certainly be an interesting matchup for him. Jared Anderson, who's trying to make his way back into the heavyweight ranks. Now, whether any of those men would take that fight remains to be seen. Another interesting thought, Muriat Gassiev, the former cruiserweight champion, who is up at heavyweight. Now, this fight might be of interest to him because he's a veteran who is trying to make a score so he can get a big fight in the heavyweight division. He might think about that against the youngster. Itauma is a fascinating case because he's so young and he's still, in some ways, in his embryonic stages, obviously. He's going to bloom and grow as a fighter. But the question is always, how soon is too soon if you move him to a major match? It's doubtful right now that he would be ready, I think, to take on one of the top 2 or 3 or 4 heavyweight champions or contenders. Now, he might be, but it seems like that would be a huge risk because some of those men I mentioned and a number of other names in the heavyweight division would be of interest. Here's the thing we do know. We know that he has power. We know that he's very skillful, tremendous counterpuncher. Showed that against the Berrigan fight when he had Berrigan walk into a counter right hook that he dropped him with. So this young man is certainly somebody that merits watching. And I think in the next couple of years, he is going to be a major force in the heavyweight division. And like Mike Tyson, might be a young phenom to become heavyweight champion very, very early. Hot topic number 2 is a fighter who has become a champion. He is Keishon Davis, who is the WBO lightweight champion. He won that title against Denis Beranchyk, and with a very, very good performance, a tremendous performance. That had followed a win over Gustavo Lemos, who was expected to be really tough for him. Lemos, a guy who gave Richardson Hitchins, the current 140-pound champion, all he could handle, and many people believe Lemos won that fight. Johnson, at 26 years old, a silver medalist at the Olympics, is really the whole package. You know, he's been brought along, I think, extraordinarily well by his promoters, Top Rank. He's fought good competition. They have worked on the marketing of him as a fighter who boxing fans will want to see. He's been engaged both on social media and otherwise as a fighter who wants to make himself known to boxing fans. And he's got a fight coming up against Edwin De Los Santos, who of course, has been at the high levels of the lightweight division, failed in his effort to beat Shakur Stevenson in a match that did not produce many fireworks and was roundly criticized by a lot of folks. Surprisingly so, because De Los Santos had been in firefights leading up to that, but the defensive wizardry of Stevenson deadened the pace in that fight, and De Los Santos could not get anything done offensively. Now, Davis and Stevenson are very good friends. They're likely never to fight each other, they suggest. So, comparing the two against De Los Santos is certainly interesting. And we'll see how Davis fares with him. One thing is for sure, Keishon Davis is a fighter who, when we look at him, has really, I think, a tremendous blue skies ahead of him, and an amazing potential, because not only is he marketable and good at 135 pounds, would not be surprising to see him move to 140 and maybe even to 147 at a certain point, and moving up the ranks there. But there's certainly plenty of exciting things at 135 still for him. First, he has to get by De Los Santos, and we'll see how he does it. But there's no question, Keishon Davis is a fighter who really has an amazingly high skill level and a great skill set, and is a fighter that I think boxing fans are going to want to see, because he's not only a skilled technician, he's exciting and has pop in his punch as well. Hot topic number 3. I mentioned Richardson Hitchins before. He is defending his IBO 140-pound title against George Kambosos, the Australian fighter. Now, 140-pound division is one that I talk about a lot. It is, I think, the deepest division in boxing by far. There are more fighters in that division that might beat each other than any other division in the sport. So, when George Kambosos, who has had only one 140-pound fight, comes in and gets a title shot in that division, it's got to raise eyebrows, and it should raise eyebrows. This is no rap on George Kambosos, who has fought a very tough resume and has fought some great champions. He got his one big win to win the title, then lost it after that. But he's 2-3 in his last 5 fights. He only has one fight, as I mentioned, at 140 pounds. Does he deserve a chance at a 140-pound title? The answer is unequivocally no. And the reason I lean into this is that in that division, I can literally name 25 fighters who deserve a title chance more than Kambosos does. People who are toiling in the 140-pound division, who fight in that division, who are fighting good fighters in that division. So I don't begrudge Richardson Hitchins maybe not making a defense against the top 5 or 4 or 3 or 1 person, but there are a couple dozen, more than that, of 240 pounders who deserve at least an opportunity at a title shot above Kambosos. And again, I'm not bashing Kambosos. This is not an tirade against him. It's just that for this moment at 140 pounds, it makes literally no sense for him to jump the line of some 25 fighters in a division he doesn't fight in to get a world title match. Now, this is not the first time this has happened in the sport of boxing, I think we could safely say, but in this instance, I've got to call it out. Well, I hope you enjoy our boxing hot topic shows and all the other content that we bring you here on the Salita Promotions YouTube channel. Please subscribe and like us if you enjoy the content, and enjoy the great fights that you can see on the YouTube channel. Also, my Big Time Boxing interview show in which I get to interview top personalities in the sport of boxing. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.